black people in DC get your and take care of them police officers like they should have been taken care of 50 years ago.
Send her to jail. Send her to jail. You see what some people will go to, the lengths they will go to advocate for criminality just because the people that are in power are not from their party. I know these people love to say that the Republicans are the violent people, and the only example they could ever go to is January 6th. And it's funny because for an insurrection, there was nobody armed, and the only person that was ever killed from that ever died from that whole debacle was a Trump supporter. Nobody was armed when they were storming the Capitol. A lot of people were strolling through the city. Through the building. And that's the only violence that they can ever think of. But they love to get on TV. The politicians, these people love to get on TikTok as well. Their supporters, and I'm talking about the Democrats here, of course. They love to get on TV, and their supporters love to get on TikTok to tell you that the Republicans are the violent party. They're the violent people. Mind you, they don't have any examples. Well, their examples are usually January 6th or words of violence, because I don't believe that a man can be a woman or a woman can be a man. Somehow that constitutes violence. If I don't affirm your pronouns, somehow that constitutes violence. And that's how these people live. But this young lady right here, this woman, she should be in jail. She should be reported to the FBI, to the authorities, and she should be put behind bars for inciting violence against federal officials. Again, I've already shown you guys a video. We already did a video on this about how a lot of DC residents feel about this. And I guarantee you this person is not from DC. She is from the outside looking in and is advocating for violence. And the people that actually live in DC and tell you how bad DC actually is, well, they're happy with what's going on. These people have never visited DC, and I'm not saying I've been there. I'm going by accounts of people who have lived there their whole lives, or at least the black people that live there their whole lives and understand how dangerous it is, versus somebody just from the outside looking in. And the crime stats don't lie. And they'll tell you, oh, well, it's 30 years, it's a 30-year low on whatever. Because they're cooking up the numbers, or the crimes aren't being reported. Or like the other young gentleman said, they're just not getting caught. So, of course, the DC police has a deficit in numbers right now. They're not getting as many recruits as police officers are retiring. And because Trump has decided to deploy or federalize the police and deploy the National Guard, these people are calling for violence. Because that's the only form of pushback that they can think of. And it's absolutely insane. I've said it, these people are crazy. We have a mental illness program in the United States. And like I've said before, man, when you're so used to being treated with privilege, equal treatment under the law seems like it's unfair. It seems unfair. And so I say lock her up. But I got another video here from another gentleman who has lived in D.C. for so long and has never experienced crime. Let me show you.
Hey, just for the record, I've lived in the dead center of Washington, D.C. for 10 years. I don't even have a car. I walk everywhere I need to go in D.C. Been walking the streets for 10 years in this city and never had a single crime happen to me.
So because he's never had a crime happen to him, it means crime in the city doesn't exist. The crime is imaginary. The people that are telling you that it's dangerous are making it up. They're all making it up in their heads. This young lady just called for violence in the city, and this guy's like, well, I've never experienced violence, therefore the violence must not be happening. Maybe because you've been there for 10 years and you know where to walk and what neighborhoods not to go to. not what neighborhoods not to go to at certain times or at all. Maybe because you stick to highly populated areas, which I don't even think the criminals care, but what are they going to rob you if you're walking around? You know what the crazy thing is? You have the leftist media actually coming out when Trump did this, talking about, and these are the elites, people with money coming out and saying that they've been mugged. They know people that have been mugged. And usually the media is all against Trump. They're all against anything that Trump could say. I'm going to cure cancer tomorrow. I found a cure for cancer. And the Democrats would just be for cancer. The liberal media would just be for cancer. They'd be like, why is he going to get rid of cancer? We need cancer. But this doofus here is saying, oh, I lived in D.C. Well, you know what's crazy? I never had a crime happen to me when I lived in New York, and I lived in New York majority of my life. Never was I a victim of a crime. Does that mean that crime in New York didn't exist? Or that I was smart enough to avoid certain areas at certain times because I lived in the city and I knew where to go and at what times and where not to go? Maybe that's what it is. Not because the crime doesn't exist. Again, this is a white guy, and I hate bringing up the fucking privilege with the race and shit like that. But this is a white guy telling a majority black city that there's no crime in that city, and so that they're making it up. They're saying that it feels safe. They can roll down their windows now and not have to worry about somebody coming and mugging them. And this guy's, well, it's never happened to me, so it's not happening. And listen, I'm not for bad things happening to people, but I believe that sometimes people only learn the hard way. But I believe that this guy, something bad could happen to him today or tomorrow, and I'm not advocating for it. I'm not hoping for that. But it's just, if something bad were to happen to him, he would probably blame it on himself. He would probably, instead of saying he was the victim, he would probably say he is the victimizer. He would make an excuse as to why there's nothing going on in D.C. and he deserved getting beat up, or he deserved getting mugged, or whatever. Have a gun pulled out on him, whatever. But again, never mind that the actual residents of the city are telling these people that it was dangerous, and now they're able to do certain things that they weren't able to do before. And these people are coming out that are not from the city or are from the city, but are just anti whatever Trump says, that it's not happening. It's not real. How much hatred do you have to have for a man that anything he does, including trying to clean up crime, is seen as bad? I guarantee you, if Joe Biden had said, I'm going to federalize the police and I'm going to deploy the National Guard to clean up the streets of D.C. Mind you, no Democrat would ever do it because they don't care. They're for the crime. They're not for the common folk. But let's just imagine he would have done it for the sake of imagining in the argument. These same people would have been telling you how dangerous it is. They would have been praising the police, and they would have been praising Joe Biden for being a hero and trying to save the city from all the criminals and all the youngsters that are going around and destroying the city, robbing people, mugging, doing whatever it is that they're out there doing, based on accounts from people that live there. Again, I've never experienced that because I've never been to D.C., but it's just astonishing that these people are absolutely like this. And again, that woman needs to go to jail. I hope she gets reported to the authorities. But that's all I got, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and share this video. And if you got anything you want me to subscribe, anything you want me to react to, the link is in the description box below. Send me an email with the video, and I'll take a look at it, and we might react to it. But until next time, guys, peace.